The bitter harvest of Aquara's pride. In the land of Aso, many seasons ago, there lived a man named Aquara, son of Nana, a man known far and wide for his wisdom, discipline, and pride. He was tall and strong, with eyes that once shone with purpose, and a heart that burned with ambition. Aquara had 3 daughters, Jui, the first fruit of his youth, Chika, the calm river in the middle, and Enjosi, the laughter that came last. His wife Ades had died young, and so Aquara became both father and mother to his girls. He toiled day and night, teaching in the village school by day and farming by moonlight. People often said Aquara's hoe never sleeps. He believed that education was the golden key that opened every door. And so he spent all he had, his sweat, his land, even his goats, to send his daughters to school. When they all graduated, the whole village danced and sang, Aquara, the father of scholars, Aquara, whose house shines with wisdom. Indeed, the gods smiled on him, and he walked with pride in his heart. The first suitor. It was in the season of new yams when Jui, the eldest, returned from the city with a light in her eyes and joy in her steps. She had become an engineer, a woman who built bridges and roads. The whole of Aso was proud of her. One afternoon, she came home with a young man named Imaka. His hands were rough from work, his eyes gentle like morning dew. He bowed before Aquara, offering kola nuts, palm wine, and respect. "Sir," he said humbly, "I have come to ask for your daughter's hand in marriage." Aquara studied him. "And what do you do for a living, my son?" "I am a mechanic," Emeka replied. "I fix cars at Eek Market." The air changed. Aquara's face hardened like the bark of a tree. He looked at Dwi and said, "My daughter, did you not say you are an engineer? How can a builder of machines marry one who repairs them? Does the eagle share a nest with the chicken?" Papa Jui pleaded, "He may be poor, but he is kind. He loves me, and I love him." But Aquara shook his head. "Love does not cook soup. Love does not buy land. My daughter will not marry a man who has nothing." That day Jui's heart broke like a calabash that fell on a stone. Emeka left quietly, and his footprints faded with the evening dust. The second and the third. Years later, Chika, the second daughter, brought home Obina, a teacher. He was honest and hard-working, but his pockets were not deep. Again, Aquara said, "Can a rat marry a cat? My daughter is a doctor. She cannot marry a man who counts coins." So Chika swallowed her tears and let the man go. Then came Enjosi, the last born, the one who laughed, even in sorrow. She loved a young lawyer who was still finding his feet, but by then she had seen enough. She said nothing to her father, fearing that her love would be buried before it bloomed. The silence of regret. The years rolled by like a lazy river. Aquara grew old, his beard white as cotton. His daughters became successful, a doctor, an engineer, and a lawyer, yet their hearts were empty. None of them married. Their laughter no longer filled the compound. On most evenings, Aquara sat alone on his wooden stool under the Eudora tree, staring at the fading sunset. The walls of his house echoed with silence. One day Jui returned home. Her once bright eyes had grown dim with years of loneliness. She sat beside her father, watching the sky turn gold. "Papa," she said softly, "do you ever regret anything?" Aquara sighed deeply. "I only wanted the best for you, my daughter." Jui looked at him with tears in her eyes. "Papa, you gave us education, but you took away our happiness." Aquara turned his face away, for tears, old and bitter, had filled his eyes. That night, he whispered to the spirits, "I gave them books, but I took away their songs." The lesson, the elders say, when pride goes before a man, sorrow follows behind him. They also say, a rich heart is better than a fat pocket. Aquara learned this too late. His compound was full of wealth, but empty of joy. His yams grew big, but there was no one to cook them. His goats bleated, but no children laughed in his yard. So whenever a father in Aso speaks harshly against a poor suitor, the elders shake their heads and say, "Do not be like Aquara, who planted pride and harvested loneliness." Moral of the story: money builds houses, but love builds homes. A wise parent guides the child's path, but must not walk it for them. For when love is buried by pride, the heart becomes a graveyard of joy.